Namaste and welcome, beloved mighty companions. Trying to unmute Dyra without success. Oh, that's right. She's going to do. Okay, we don't have to unmute her. I keep forgetting. We're in the new back to the translation. So we have like a little translation audio. It's reconditioning. We're grateful to be here with all of you. Devotion to light. What's more valuable than this? Yeah, it's like I less and less know. I have no idea what Jesus is going to talk about. And oh my gosh, I see how much love there is in that. No planning. Okay, he's bringing me back to the lesson. Must need to see something in there. So let's go. That's for me to see. It's really to see that when we look up, or other words, and look up toward him as our guide, we just have these little love cuddles. Like, don't we all just want those love cuddles? And we start watching these movies and just watch the mind go shopping. The characters kind of go shopping to try to find love in form. Oh, I'm attracted to this one or that one, or this one has fat thighs. You can ask him, Jesus, is there any peace in this approach to finding comparisons in body forms? He says, this is denial of love. Denial that love's here. Infinite, unchanging. So we just sit down, cuddle up with Jesus. That works. Some beings like, oh, I don't want to get too close to Jesus. It's so interesting. It's so beautiful how consciousness displays so beautifully the way that we are in communication with Jesus. Like looking over and seeing him laugh, or looking into the mind's eye and seeing how, oh, I don't want to take his hand one bit. Like, I don't want to reach over there, you know? And then how he's showing is like, we really don't want to reach over and grab the hand of our brother. We just want to crawl into a hole somewhere. And so today I was mentioning how sitting at the bus stop, there's always an opportunity to look. I just look. Just like, to me, that's the most valuable thing. Following the assignment, which was to go to Chapala, and then looking with him. And he'll just start showing me things, you know, because when we have that relationship, he'll start delivering it out, really. Not to be afraid of it, to see the love in it. The infinite love. And then bringing the mind to where it's denied. And, you know, today was about, is guilt is hell? What's its opposite? Okay, so let's just go ahead and look dead on of the desire for guilt and hell. So we can, I'm going to look again, because I could just sitting at the bus stop and he was just really showing me, oh, that itch for hell, the hell itch. He said, it's all a hell itch. Anything, any twitch is a hell itch. There you go. Mm-hmm. I'm turning into Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss is a children's book writer in the US. The Cat in the Hat, you know, everything rhymes. But it's helpful. He'll use everything. Nothing's off limits to Jesus at all. That's really the joyous part of it. The things that you thought, oh, you know, I'll never, whatever it was. I had the list. I'll never be in a, okay, Jesus, I'll give up this tub. You know, I just like, it's just the one thing about my house. You know, I like that deep soaking tub. I'll give it all up. Listen to that voice. I'll just give it all on the line, Jesus. Except my tub. And then somehow in the humor of it, right, he come to a place that has a thermal water. The whole place is thermal. He's funny because he's really telling us it's not stripping away of symbols, all the symbols. Like there's such a beautiful story. It's coming up again where one of the they used to call them messengers. They change at Living Miracles. She was so in love with dresses. Really. And one day David took her out and it was given by Spirit to buy dresses. It's not, we have so many ideas that we're going to be stripped down to a nub. And David would talk about this too. Like if you love dogs, you'll think you'll never see a dog again. And then there they are all over. And like it's hilarious now because I've mentioned this passion, like the radar would go into high alert about March 15th or so in Wisconsin because all the birds were coming through, it's like, I've got to go see them and count them. And where's the next bird? There's like no presence in that, but it was the play, love birds. Like, it was like, it was an itch to go birding. And nothing's wrong with that either. That's infinite love too. It's just he can use that to teach us or teach me how consciousness was playing. Like he was never satisfied. It was like, it was like a hunger. And of course, now we're in a place like there's the number of birds that fly across the yard. I have never seen that many in anybody's yard ever. But, there's not the pull to it. I mean, I can appreciate them, but I don't have, it's beautiful. It's really herons and all these things that I used to spend hours hunting for. And they're just like 20 black crowned night herons. They're just like sitting in a bush, like, and I'd go hunting in the trees for them. And it's such a good example, of the hunt. We love that hunt. And then to get discouraged because then we don't find the exact bird. Wait a minute. And then it's hilarious because it would be like, oh, not that bird. Like a cardinal would come. It'd be, oh man, it's just a cardinal. You'd be so excited because you're thinking, oh my God, that's going to be a scarlet tanager. I just know it. It's going to be a scarlet tanager. It's like, oh. That's how consciousness plays. It loves the hunt. It loves to be hunted. It loves to be chased and play the chase game, high speed chase. It loves to wreck cars. I don't know what this is, but somehow in the play of consciousness, right? Let all those cars and you take them, demolition derby. And that's what Jesus is saying. None of this is bad. But without following the divine expression, infinite light, we're in miscreation. And in miscreation, you feel guilty because the whole structure of the ego is to make guilty. And I was talking about this more, and he's reminding me, okay, I'll talk about it again because it's for me. And just let him talk about it. Okay, Jesus. It's not that anything bad happens when you don't follow me. Through the play in consciousness, you believe it does. So you refuse to follow so you can experience guilt because you're addicted to guilt. Just ask him. Okay, everybody here can hear him, so might as well know. Might as well just hear what he has to say. Is that why we don't follow you? And then like the kerfuffling happens. And we get all cranky and pissy and all that kind of stuff because we like that experience more than following Jesus. It's not that God doesn't abandon us all of a sudden. The light's still there. We just want to go hide in a corner because we feel sinful. Like this. We start pouring rice on the ground so we can kneel on it. But just ask them, Jesus, is that a desired experience? All that Opus Dei kneel on rice thing. Yes. Jesus, at any time have you ever, has the consciousness ever asked someone, is divine helpfulness to kneel on rice? Let's just clear that up. See, that's the belief that salvation can come through a body. See, scourging a body. But you see, we don't need scourges like in the old days, like the 15th century. First of all, we already went that route. Most of us probably were there. And I know in the 50s, I had visions that I was being led off to have the head going like. So most of us have been around kind of those kind of various outside torture chambers, but we don't need them anymore because we can just be with those bees and let them buzz and feel and bzzz, all the thoughts going. Oh my gosh, to hear him say he's right again. And again, and he's just bringing us right in there, right in that pocket of desire, the itch for hell. Jesus, do I have a very serious hell itch? Like, you know, we're wondering about an itch for toe fungus. We would actually look at the itch to deny divinity. Come on, we know that's true. You know? We're like more interested than a mosquito bite, an itching mosquito bite, than we are to see how much we have an itch to experience hell. In the play of consciousness, not we, consciousness, without anybody doing it. So we can have a more playful relationship with Jesus watching these movies, and we're watching Love Actually right now. Because the request went out we knew that we needed one of the cuddle kind of movies. I said, Jesus, is it okay to call it that? He says, yes, because he knows. He knows in form. This is a powerful symbol, the cuddle. I said, Jesus, did you give out lots of those? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I'm cuddling you now, he says. I'm cuddling you with all the infinite the Father has given you. The best kind of cuddle. Like Muji said, I was kissed from inside and everything changed. I had to walk out. He walked out. Just walk out of the idea of who you thought you were. So, okay, I'm good. I'm totally good with it, Jesus. If just stand with a brother and just let him deliver all that energy, that desire to experience hell. Just go ahead, give it to me. I'm going to sit in it and let it smoke rise, whatever. If guilt is hell, what is its opposite? That's a good question. But that's the clue. That is such a good clue right there. The thing about it is, we believe that guilt is heaven. Check in on light test. Jesus, do I believe that guilt is heaven? Honesty of God, we just admit it. Do I relish guilt? Do I feel like I can't live without it, like I gotta have it? Mm-hmm. It's okay if you say yes, at least it's right here. All the running is not looking, not standing into divine power to instantly. If guilt is hell, what is its opposite? The Jesus, does it have an opposite? He goes, not really, but in the play of consciousness, because guilt doesn't exist in truth. But if we go, this is how the ego will play, go, well, guilt's not true. Well, who's saying that? The one that's guilty is saying it. So in the play of consciousness like this, it will play this way. Like, I'm not a body, you know, and that's why he's saying, do not deny that you're a body. Do not deny that guilt is, and say guilt's unreal because you believe it is. And then you'll deny yourself really looking to see through the guilt, to see that, to let that burn out in the light. Like I love that when he was showing me in the Bible, like, because I really hadn't read the Bible. But then when it just comes alive, there's a choice not to see it, right? So and when we're open to see it, then he shows us, he's going through and showing me all these things and giving God's interpretation. It's the best. It's really the best. Oh, not needed. Whatever that fellow. You know, to hear him talk about what it meant, because it was such a powerful image to collect the harvest wheat, you know, in that time. Wheat was very precious, and you harvested the wheat, and then they would just spend all kinds of, he said, yeah, you'd spend all kinds of time trying to clean it out, get the chaff. And to use the beauty of that, the Spirit will burn all the chaff and leave only the good wheat. Which is a good reminder to let the Spirit do it all. The light, where the greatest power is, that we let light do it. It's not really doing anything, but in terms of burning out the untrue. And he says, yes, you may. And boy, sometimes I felt like I was smoking on fire. Jesus was that release. Yes. Well, we don't know that. See, the interpretive function of the shark comes in when we're releasing, and then it's going to, oh, this is terrible. I got to run. I got to go. No, just sit there. Jesus said, yeah, that's helpful. Just sit with it. Okay, Kundalini. That can be release, but there's no emphasis. He hasn't mentioned it in the course. It can be a big distraction from actually looking to see that the light's here and everything else is movement. Yeah, he's saying that's just distraction. Don't even get involved in that. That's what he said. He's making it so simple. Light, infinite, is the light here. And then we look at the lesson, and he shows us exactly how we don't believe our holiness is our salvation. Okay, let's just check in. Jesus, do I have any beliefs that holiness is not my salvation, that my salvation lies in the idea I think I have of myself? The self-image, is there some little self-image piece lurking down there that I think is my salvation? And then we just go until he says no. You just look at the energy, this very simple looking. Then the ego's going like this. The ego, I got another thing to look at. Because we're laughing, and it's like, again, Jesus? Well, whose voice is the hangdog? The very one who's making it all up loves the dream and relishes the dream. And he's telling me straight out, see what a distraction that is from you seeing what's here right now. Okay. You start to see your own little delusion going. Your own little, okay, I created it, Jesus. Okay, admit it. And then we can be really playful with them. Like the circles are getting more and more playful, where we're just looking and we're going, ask a desire, you just go, everybody goes, do I have a desire to want to kill God? And we're, yeah. But then we can really laugh, you know? and just let that energy rise up and want, and just let the wanting to kill, just let it fully go ahead, blow, and see if the light doesn't move out. Does the light suddenly go, I better go on vacation because I'm going to be killed? No, it's just there. It's just here. And we just and just ask Jesus. I love that. It's been so helpful, Jesus. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this. Is this release or is this keeping? We can't be reminded of that enough. And then the ego is going to complain. Oh, it was really hilarious, actually. It was really very, very precious whenever he was here. And she's so precious. Oh my God, I love her so much. What a symbol. And do I have to go deeper, Jesus? And I was like, no. What do you mean have to go deeper? It was very adorable. But we do. Because that's how that was honesty of God. It was honesty, total honesty of God to go, I don't know, what do you mean I got to go deeper? Because at least we're seeing it. Do you see when that's not expressing, we can't see right in front of us that no, we don't want to go deeper one iota. Deeper meaning to look more into the nature of divinity, to look at the play. We're just looking deeply at the play within consciousness, our own desire to miscreate and deny true creation, which is us. It's just, there's no word for it. Wait, so let's just check in. Let's look at this deeper. Can we look at that? Yeah, he's saying, yeah. Oh, so much love. Okay. I love how he says, if guilt is hell, what is its opposite? And then he goes, this is not difficult, surely. I think it was difficult when I first looked at the course because I wasn't really, it seemed to make logic, but you can see in that play of consciousness to really look so deeply at this, to admit, get to the honesty of God point. I'm so grateful for honesty of God, Jesus. Thank you. Because it's so simple. See that you're light. Admit where you're denying light and ask for a miracle. Cease to deny. And then it becomes so simple. And here he just knows how it works. The hesitation, this is not difficult, surely. The hesitation you may feel in answering it is not due to the ambiguity of the question. But do you believe that guilt is hell? And this is where honesty of God is essential. He's saying, yes, honesty of God is essential here. Do I believe that guilt is hell? And if the answer is no, let's look. See, that is revelatory. Do I believe that this is for me? I'm going to look at this close. But you believe that guilt is, do you believe? And if you get a no, see, he's going to tell you. That is such a powerful clue. To look directly at the believing that guilt is heaven. The slightest smidgen that guilt is heaven, Jesus. I'm looking. I want to see it all. Give it to me. Please. He says the kingdom is restored in this one. If you did, you would see at once how direct and simple the text is, and you would not need to workbook at all. I could have saved myself the workbook. So Jesus, so it's taken an entire workbook and beyond, and obviously going through this another year. Not complaining, because I'm really grateful, because this is an opportunity to have a dialogue with Jesus every day and unlearn like all the ideas, and the happiness just grows. So I'm grateful. But obviously, somewhere in here, I'm willing to look with them. If you did, but do you believe guilt is hell? If you did, you would see how direct and simple the text is, and you would not need a workbook at all. I'm just asking him, do I still need the workbook? He says, yes. Okay, I trust him. It's one heck of a powerful ticket out. That's what he's saying. Directive. No one needs practice to gain what is already his. Okay, Jesus. So how do we flip this around? Okay, so he always answers, follow me. That's first of all. That comes like, so it's like a lightning bolt. Okay. Is there anything like we can look at directly for the flip of heaven being, guilt being heaven? He's saying, look directly at the real, secretly hidden death wish in guilt. Okay. He's reminding me, it's like a marriage, like the true marriage, the true wedding of light back, you know, and they talk about this. I've talked about this in the Urantia book. No, I said, Jesus, do I have to read this again? He goes, no, I'm telling you now. Anyway, yeah, he's saying it's like a wedding, you know, because we're so used to separation. So it brings into awareness what was hidden, so that it's no longer held separate. It can join. It can see that it's joined. It just melts in the totality. I'm checking in with that. Correct. Yeah. So this is unification of consciousness. It instead of being hidden anymore, it comes into self-awareness, a mission of self-awareness of itself. So how to release, how to flip this guilt idea, this guilt heaven idea, the relishing. He's reminding me, just look at how much you do relish guilt as heaven. Okay, Jesus, do we relish guilt as heaven? And I'm asking him, so we spend time there. He says, yeah, spend time with me on that. It just could be with the miracle on it. Just wash that out. If you're willing to look that directly, he's saying, yeah, I'll show it to you. Because you'll see that you're innocent in it. It's a fast way to see you're innocent. It's just like an energetic pretend thing. Holds no power over you. He says the release of the energy is the flip. It's the reversal of what's suppressed. It's the release of what's suppressed. I'm asking him, so Jesus, can we just put that thought, that belief that, oh my gosh, it's going to make me cry. So I said, can we just put that belief that guilt is heaven in the light? He says that this will help you see the unreality of it. The unreality of guilt is heaven. Because you're so like attached to it, like fly paper. Okay. Jesus, am I attracted to guilt like fly paper? I like to feel stuck on guilt, like splayed out on a piece of fly paper. Saying you showing me that picture. I check in with him when pictures come into my mind to make sure it's him. And he's showing me this thing where, I've talked about it before, like these frat boys covered a wall with duct tape, and then they'd come along and they just would throw one of their buddies up against the wall. So he would stick. He said it's like that, just stuck to guilt and pretending like, oh, I can't break free of this, kind of thing. Like it's fly paper. I can't go anywhere. And he said, and it's all in your mind. You can't go anywhere. Okay, so is there anything else we need to see around guilt? Releasing guilt, belief that guilt is heaven and heaven is hell. Yeah, he's just saying keep looking at the desires, and that just dissolves, that shell, the hell shell. That little play, to go into our little turtle, our consciousness turtle, pull it, stay in there. I don't want to see this light out there. He says, just keep looking with me at the desires and then follow me. Because I'll lead you out. We need this holy relationship with him where we just keep following so that trust builds. Because we don't trust ourselves at all, which means we don't trust him because we don't trust ourselves. Because the whole consciousness is made to feel things are not trustworthy. No one needs to practice to gain what is already his. So the light's not needing to practice anything whatsoever. Yes, Jesus. Jesus, is the light needing to practice anything? The light just is. But in the display of consciousness, this will not, I'm asking him. I want to know. Why not? Tell me the truth. And yeah, really, I'm seeing the really only truth is as Jesus delivers it. That's what it's what Jesus says. That's the only thing coming out of your mouth. That only thing it comes that Jesus says, when that's the only expression of truth. Because we are truth. Truth's identity, that's what's here. Truth is identity, infinite light. And it's not, oh, they were so honest about, no, so honest. I admitted I stole something. No, it's still not honesty. No, Jesus, is that honesty? Ask him. If I admit I steal a piece of paper and I admit it, is that honesty? Does the guilt go away if I admit it? No, it's willingness to see it another way, that it never happened. And then no one's guilty. See the play in consciousness and cease to sin, which is sin is error of thought. It's following the idea of personal identity. And just don't do that, because then you'll feel guilty, because the whole consciousness thing is to make us, because we like guilt. You can ask them. Yep. Okay. So anything else to see on this heaven? This just feels pivotal. And he's going, yes, this is pivotal. This is where the buck has to stop. The admission that we believe that heaven is hell. Jesus, do I believe heaven is actually hell? I'm going to hell if I try to go to heaven. Just check in on that. You'll always feel anxious if there's a belief that going to the light is going to be a bad experience. How could anyone, it's going to be a hellacious spiritual journey. Because, okay, and Jesus reminded me, because it was a desire to have a hellacious. That's why really early on, when I saw that it was all desired experience, boy, I was clocking the time with them on the desire for hellacious awakening. It's like, that's a valuable use of time with them. Just go, okay, show me where I really want this to be hard or brutal, or he says that's part of the relishing of guilt, to make it really, stretch it out on a timeline and invest in what's not natural to us. And then you see you're fine anyway, even if it's a hellacious awakening, seeming awakening, you're not really waking up. But we said, as he calls it, I'm just checking in, make sure those are his words, not my words. Cease to deniement. Cease to deny the light's hearment. And that way also, it's like dropping an axe on the idea that there's time or you got to do something, to be enlightened. Because the ego is going to play with that as a new state. It's going to go, I'm enlightened now. The very one that's making up all of consciousness can pretend like it's enlightened. Ask Jesus. And it goes like this, because I've seen that play. I played that out. I made it. I got this. Not until Jesus says you do. That's for sure. Because there'll be pockets of hell. Okay, Jesus, we love you, and we're so grateful you brought us deeper into this precious lesson, and you brought our brothers together, chapter 20, to dive deep. And all the joining, keep the joining going. It's so beautiful. All the beings are just reporting the joy from it, and the hearing their brother, the gifts their brother are given to them, and he's made it so simple for us. And it's really precious too. Believe me, all the beings who are saying, like, why did I fight this? It was a wonderful expression. I just fought against chapter 20 so badly, and I didn't like my partner, or not like him, but I didn't think they're the right partner for me, because a lot of times we don't know, but this is not the right partner. And then they're saying, oh my gosh, but then when I just sat down and started doing chapter 20, it was like so joyous and so happy. Now, at first, it might feel a little bumpy because of the resistance. The ice cream truck, the pizza truck. I wonder if Amazon delivers. You've had Amazon Prime for years, and you're going, I wonder if my subscription is right in the middle, getting ready to look with Jesus. But he knows all that. But that's why he's sending us the mighty. So we have a new kind of glue. Instead of the flypaper effect, we got our mighties to say, come on down off of that wall. But you know what? You can be flypapered to that wall like this with he's so funny. So you can be stuck to the wall just like this, and you can still talk to me even then. Even when you're flypapered up there going, I can't do anything. He says, like he said to me that time, don't pretend like you can't like you can't hear me. So we're not going to pretend like we can't hear him, because every one of us can. And if you could hear, like, you don't hear it at first. I know, I know that's the play. You can't hear, because that's how consciousness plays, like the stunning things that are coming out of your mouth when he speaks through you. So that's a good reminder. He's saying, yes, video, use the power of technology, video yourself in these sessions. He's saying, yes. Like Marguerite, I get on the phone with her, I can be sure that she's going to be, she's going to get an audio, and then she goes back, because you can't see how, because consciousness is going to cover that up so quickly. It's just going to cover the stunning clarity that's coming through you. Stunning clarity, and it needs to come through so we can learn it when it comes through. It's so, and your brothers are going to sit there and they can all attest. It's just so on point. But again, consciousness is going to cover over that. So keep practicing that speaking with that clarity, because it's for us. It's not for anybody else there. We're not doing the clarity for anybody else. Yeah, that's because there was a lot of questions coming up around clarity. He's on point with me right now. He's going, clarity is speaking my voice as I tell you. That will help you get clarity. And to emphasize my voice, because then you're speaking truth. See, there's no investment anymore in the wherefores, the whys. There's two things. There's speaking his voice, and then there's asking him questions and his interpretation. It becomes very simple then. He's saying, yeah, it's very simple then. Those two things. And you can, yeah, I'm asking about that. It's like, and I ask him all the time, you tell me that, am I hearing you clearly? Is there anything else you want to say about that? That's the kind of relationship we can have with them. So it's so, he says that's the kind of relationship you need to have with me, because you just don't see the whole play and the delusion and where the delusion is. So that continual asking him, it's getting into that just all day long. Okay, what about this, Jesus? What about that? What about that? Am I listening to you? And then it becomes automatic. It'll be like a pop. Something come up and you're just immediately, and it keeps you pointed up. See, all the time in divine expression of love. And it stops the mind. Yes, he's saying yes. You don't even see it till he tells you. But now that he's saying it, I'm seeing how it stops the mind wandering. It's okay. He's giving me another puppy example. The puppies, like, so we're training the puppies, and I was learning how important it is when you're, to be very still. So it's training us in stillness, to be very still and to be present until they make eye contact with you. So you're in communication. And I see that it just stopped. They're misbehaving, what one would call misbehaving. It's not helpful behavior where they're jumping on you. And we it's been a good learning lesson how we trained them how to jump on us. But you don't see that. Okay, so we're innocent. We didn't know that. But now Jesus is, okay, now let me show you how he's using dogs to teach us about true communication, presence, and eye contact, and that, and then all the other aberrant behavior stops. And that's what's happening every time we just go up like that with them, and we're looking them in the eye going, okay. And you can look at it if you don't want to look them in the eye. Jesus, do I want to look in the eye? But it, you know, it becomes just so automatic to ask them everything. Have a little dialogue, type in, what do you want me to put in this letter? And he just gave me a little talk. You could be even better at it with okay. Because he's offering, he wants to take over everything. Like David would say, you won't lift a finger. Okay, I'm not lifting a finger. Got it handled. Thank you, Jesus. I'm giving you all the minutia, so that all we have to do here is look. Amen. So much love to all of you from San Juan. He has taken us out of this world just as he promised. Let thine eye be single.